Hey, it's Will from EDM Tips, and today I want to give you some tips for how to actually start becoming a professional music producer. There's a few things that you need to cover. So if you are frustrated with slow progress, or your music's not quite sounding as good, or it might sound way off from where you want it to sound like your favorite producers, there are a few things that you need to cover off. This is what I had to do when I went from being a frustrated bedroom producer to DJing all over the world and being paid to remix. I've worked on Grammy shortlisted dance music, I've hit the top spots in Beatport, Juno, Track It Down. But my point is, there are some things that you can put into practice today, which I'm going to share with you over the next few minutes, that are going to help you get on that path. So the first thing that you want to really get nailed down is inspiration and productivity, because without these, then you're never going to have the impetus that it takes to continually produce music and do it quickly as well. And that's what you need to do if you want to do this either professionally or just you want to be successful as doing it in your pastime. So the first thing I want to cover off is your mindset. Now, this kind of goes without saying, but you want to have a professional mindset. So what does that mean? That means scheduling in time, taking it seriously when you've scheduled that time in the studio, and turning your friends down if they want to go out for a drink for that time that you've scheduled in. Now this is so important because you're not always going to feel inspired to write, and at any point in a track there's going to be a point where you kind of hit this slump and it's boring and it's tiring and you've lost inspiration and you think that this is crap. And Stephen Pressfield, in his book The Art of War, called this the belly of the beast. Now it's essential that you can push through that. And the best way that I've found to do that is to have time schedule in and to just go in and do the work anyway, regardless of how you feel. The best way I've heard it put is by a guy called Il Gates, who taught me this. If you've got two different types of sessions, so you've got day sessions and you've got night sessions. And for the day sessions, this is when you are producing music and you don't scroll through your sample banks, you don't watch online tutorials, you don't go to edmtips.com. The day sessions is when you are actually producing music, and it's essential that you keep those kind of sacrosanct almost. And then you've got your night sessions, which you can schedule in. Now this might only be a couple of hours a week for your night sessions. And it doesn't actually have to be at night time, but whenever you organize your samples, you might look at some new techniques on YouTube that you want to implement, experiment with sound design. And the idea is that you get as prepared as possible for your day sessions, so that when you hit those day sessions, everything's where you want it to be. So you can just start getting tracks down. You can just work without having to think, okay, well, how do I create this sound? And that distinction between day sessions and night sessions can be an absolute game changer. Now, if you're worried about being a copycat or anything like that, please don't, because even Avicii said, rest in peace to him, he said all he was doing when he came up with his signature sound was trying to create house music in the style that he loved. So he was trying to copy other people, but in the process of doing that came up with his own sound. And the great and late David Bowie also said the only art that he consumes is that he can copy from. So even these great producers and musicians and artists are the same as well. You basically cannot create anything completely original. We're all a product of our environment and the things that inspire us. So don't beat yourself up trying to be the most original person in the world. If you start combining these different styles of the different music you like and doing what you love, eventually you will kind of stumble upon this signature sound that's very much you. And it doesn't take that long to do that. You just have to get more tracks done. And that's why producing music, every week is an important thing to do. And that's why I really recommend you just timetable some time in today for your day sessions and your night sessions. It doesn't have to be much. A couple of hours for night sessions and then 4 or 5 hours in a week for your day sessions. And before you know it, in a month or two, you're going to be leaps and bounds ahead of where you are today if you're not producing regularly. So what I want you to do is drop me a comment in the section below this video. I love to hear from you guys. We can start up a discussion. And then I want you to take these very simple steps. Today, it's not going to take you long, but one is start organizing some of your inspiration playlists. This will be a huge boon when it comes to focusing on the type of music you want to make and developing your own signature sound. And the second thing I want you to do, as I just mentioned, is just timetable in a bit of time each week for your day sessions and your night sessions. Cheers and happy producing.